Now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show. We love to help you win in any marketplace. We don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We want to help you win by bringing on expert contributors. We bring on over 80 different categories of consumer advocates. They're all designed to help you understand your buying decisions, make you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show online at consumerqb.com. Save our hotline number. You might need it, 813-917-1894. Just call or text anything you hear on the show. We'd love to connect with you. Had a lot of calls last week, an uptick in calls. Greatly appreciate those that support the program here. 813-917-1894. Keller Williams Realty is the sponsor of this program. Platinum MVP Team, Keller Williams Realty. We've got a great lineup for you today. We're going to have Will Hyder in the house, Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams. He's one of our top agents. He's also a marketing company as well, massive marketing pros. And Jennie Restrepo, Insured Title Agency. We're going to talk title with Jennie Restrepo coming up here on the program. And I want to give a quick shout out to our friends at Veteran Gutters, Brandon Porter and his team. They do a great job. Veteran Gutters, reach out. American-made product. He's a veteran. He served our great country. Veteran Gutters, Brandon Porter and his team. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. VeteranGutters.com. And you can talk to Brandon Porter over there. Hot listings here from the Platinum MVP team. We're going to talk about Will Hyder's listings. Will's got a couple of great listings here from the Platinum MVP team. 3819 6th Avenue West here in beautiful Tampa Bay, southern part of Tampa Bay. That's Palmetto area. 3819 6th Avenue West down in Palmetto. Beautiful property here. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. You got about 1,500 plus square feet. You got a butcher block countertops in the kitchen, stainless steel double oven, smart oven as well, refrigerator, smart refrigerator, pendant lighting, vinyl fence, AC installed in 2016, ADT alarm system, large screened porch, and a lot of people love this, no deed restrictions. Great opportunity at 3819 6th Avenue West in Palmetto, one of our hot real estate listings. Looks like a nice metal roof too, a beautiful property, new roof. Awesome. And we got another property here on Quintara. This one is up in, I believe, Pasco County. The one on Quintara is in Spring Hill, Pasco County. 4364 Quintara Street in Spring Hill, 2,860 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2-car garage. Tons of space, open floor plan, large family room, dining area, wood-burning fireplace, large screened-in patio and pool, ensuite bath with large garden tub. And that one is 4364 Quintara Street, Spring Hill, Pasco County. You can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. That's PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, Will Hyder, welcome back, sir.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for coming in and rocking and rolling out there. Things are going well?
Going well. How's everything going for you guys?
Yeah. Doing it, man. Getting it done.
You know, the year's almost here. A couple more months left, right?
Can you believe it, right?
It's crazy. The year's flying by. You know, we talk a little bit about that, right? How to finish strong, how to reinforce your mindset in business, and how to become successful, starting with your mindset, right? I think I wouldn't say a lot of people, but a lot of people kind of do. They don't spend enough time on, reinforcing the mindset and building a strong business acumen when it comes to mindset, because mindset is the key to success in any business. So let's talk a little bit about, how to be successful in real estate and how to have a successful mindset in business. So
yeah, I love it, man. And I teach the class. Keller Williams has a class called Win with Sellers, and it's one of the very first slides that we come to. It's a quote from Gary Keller, and it's something to the effect that out of all my years in real estate, interviewing, he wrote the book called Millionaire Real Estate Agent. He wrote Shift and all these different books. Him and Jay Papasan and some others, but one of the very first slides when he's interviewing all these other realtors across the country, he says the number one that is resounding effect is mindset.
Yeah, mindset is number one. As a realtor, you're a realtor as well, all right? Mindset's key. We speak to a lot of agents when we work with them. One thing I would recommend to start out at any given point with your mindset is start out with setting goals for your business, right? Mm-hmm. Don't go into your business shooting from the hip. Set goals and work backwards to achieve those goals. Yep. So if you have a specific amount of homes you want to sell or a specific amount of money you want to make, well, you got to do the numbers and you got to work backwards. Once you understand your goals, then you have to have the mindset to reach them, right? So, having discipline, right? You can share a little bit about that on your, you're super successful agent on your end. What have you found to be the most successful traits in your mindset as far as what's helped you grow over the years, right? Like, talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, it's a lot of times it's, like you just said, working backward. I was taking notes here. So have your goals, right? So if you have a certain amount of $1 per year that you want to make your annual income, it's $100,000 is comes down to $50 per hour if you're working a 40-hour week. Mm-hmm. None of us do that. We probably work 50, 60, 70, right? So $100,000, break down your hourly. So then you got to be doing tasks and activities that it's going to generate $50 an hour if you want to make $100,000 a year. So for us, for real estate, that breaks down into, especially for me as a listing agent, number of closings, right?
Yep.
So 10, 15 closings per month. Then I'm going to need X amount of listings. And then how do I get those listings? I set appointments. Okay. And then how do I get those appointments? I make calls, yep. Right? Calls or networking. Of course, there's lots of ways to do it. But yeah, I like what you said. Work backwards and then quantitate that. And then, very first thing in the morning, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make those calls. I'm going to create that energy, that momentum.
Yeah, once you figure out exactly what the targets are, you got to set that schedule, and you got to live and die by that schedule. Consistency is the next thing for mindset, right? Being consistent, showing up each and every day. Showing up is half the battle, right? Showing up and taking massive action on your goals will get you there faster and allow you to become more successful in your business. It'll prevent burnout as well. When you have a schedule and you know what your set tasks are each day, you know what you're waking up to, right? You're more motivated. Right? Motivation is another thing, right? Find things that motivate you. There's so many things that you can do on the mindset training. I mean, it's ever growing, right? You're constantly investing in your mindset, just like you are in your business, in your family, everything, right? If you don't invest in your mind, you won't be successful, right? Everybody's always going after the shiny object syndrome. What's the best marketing plan? What's the best lead source? What's the best website or house? What should I say here? It's like, that's all gravy, but like focus on the small things, the small wins, the things that will get you to the ultimate end game, and that's your reaching your goals, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. We're talking Will Hyder here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Will Hyder, local real estate agent here on the Platinum MVP team, also owns a company called Massive Marketing Pros, and he's been very successful setting up ads and funnels for other real estate agents in other markets, and the Facebook ads and just different things. And you got Facebook Reels now and some of the different things on Instagram. What are you seeing in that realm?
Yeah, so when it comes to mindset on that aspect, right, a lot of agents, what do we say? What do we do? Well, spend time on creating video content.
Yeah.
But you have to have the mindset to be frequent and don't be afraid to get on camera.
Yep.
Right?
That's right.
If you're afraid to get on camera, I recommend doing a few things. Maybe you get on a live with a friend or get on live with somebody else and get on a video and get warmed up to it. Right. And then start maybe doing a few on your own, right?
Yep.
But when it comes to, lead generation in your business, that's another thing with mindset is you got to lead generate as well, right? Online, if you're creating videos, most agents spend like maybe 2 to 3 hours a day if they're good agents on prospecting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you spend time creating your content, instead of a 1-to-1 ratio, now you have a 1-to-many ratio.
Yeah.
So now your videos are being shown to multiple people.
Yeah.
At all times of the day.
Right.
So instead of investing 2 to 3 hours on, prospecting, why not do it all day long, right?
Yeah.
So by having the mindset to be able to create these video content and see the results that comes from it, you got to stay in it, right? You got to put out the content. So, if you go into saying, okay, if I start producing videos today and I don't have any results in 3 months, I'm going to quit.
Right.
No, that's already having a quit mindset, right? You have to go in and say, I'm in it for the long haul.
Yep.
I'm gonna constantly put out videos just like you have. You've been putting out videos for years, right? And that's now you're starting to see the fruits of your labor.
Yeah.
Right. But you got to be frequent. You got to have the mindset to be consistent.
Yeah,
right?
1,700 videos now to date on YouTube. I mean, that's a lot. You think about it, and almost 10 years now on the Quarterback Show, the Consumer Quarterback Show. So yeah, consistency is key. And then the other thing is, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? Mm-hmm. So in other words, I love what Tony Robbins says: success leaves clues, right? Yeah. So you want to master, or you want to model a master, right? I've heard. What's his name? The real estate coach talk about R&D. Do you do R&D, rip off and duplicate? So Tom Ferry, I think, said that. So rip off and duplicate. But yeah, in a sense, you are doing that. You're just modeling, and it could be somebody else in another market. Maybe in New York or Chicago, California, wherever. And then here's what they did to get successful. Okay, so let me reinvent that, kind of bring my own flavor to it, right? Quarterback is my theme with the metaphor, the sports analogy of the quarterback leading the team. So make it yours, but in a sense, you're modeling an expert.
Yeah, it'd be different. Everybody's doing the same stuff in real estate, posting their closings, posting, things that don't matter, right? Put your mindset in the mindset of your buyers or your sellers or your clients.
Right.
When they look at your ads or their posts or your stuff, if you were them, would you click on it? Right. So put your mindset in the mindset of your buyers and your sellers and your clients, and make content relevant to that.
Yeah.
Right. What they want to see and what they want to hear.
Yeah.
Right.
Lead with a question too, right? A lot of times, do you want to do that, or have you seen this? Like you see those different videos where you want to a lot of times lead with a question and kind of build that energy up or that expectation up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. All that stuff. So putting your content out there, right? YouTube is very powerful. Get your YouTube videos ranked. You can also do in-stream videos, which is the targeting on Google is hyper focused. It's a lot better than like Facebook now in relation to targeting. You can actually target in-market buyers, people actually buying and selling homes, condos, whatever the case may be, luxury homes. So, definitely get onto the Google Ads platform and take a look at, how you can start, leveraging YouTube to grow your business.
And now's a good time to do that. I was listening to one of the podcasts or one of the business podcasts I listened to, and they talked about the amount of small business owners or, even medium and mid and larger businesses that have scaled back their marketing budgets. So now you're going to be able to stand out more with less cost per click or whatnot, because less people are doing that. They're pulling back their marketing budgets. Large companies, even Google and, some of the other tech companies, they're cutting their hiring. Amazon's paying people to leave. Hey, here's $5,000. Get out of here. We can't afford this anymore. The Biden economy's kind of taken over. So let's leave it there. Come back more with Will Hyder here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Taking a quick break. Coming up as well, our feel-good story of the day: children battling cancer get $500 shopping spree at the mall at Wellington Green. We'll be right back here. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the Real Estate Quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. Any of our listeners out there, we'll offer you a 2% listing for the first 3 callers that reach out to the hotline, 813-917-1894. Call or text the hotline, 813-917-1894. Also, a great opportunity for folks out there looking for a part-time gig, maybe a side hustle, is Keller Williams Real Estate School, powered by Kaplan. Reach out if you'd like more information on how we have a free real estate school for you, online class, get licensed, and start referring business in, or maybe make a new career. 813-917-1894, ConsumerQB.com for our syndicated radio and TV show on 80 outlets worldwide, ConsumerQB.com, or our real estate website at Platinum MVP Team.kw.com. That's Platinum MVP Team.kw.com. And please follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram, Twitter, Getter, and check out our YouTube channel, Brandon Rhymes Realty. Make it a great day. Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show. Have you desired more income and more freedom in your life? Now is your time. Keller Williams Realty has just launched our own real estate school, and you can get licensed for free. I'm Brandon Rhymes, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Realty. And for the first 3 people who reach out, I will personally coach you. 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. ConsumerQB.com. ConsumerQB.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at ConsumerQB.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Team, Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals if you're buying, selling, or investing. We got a lot of vacant land available here in Tampa Bay. You can buy some dirt from us. We got properties ranging from $3.9 million to this one here is 9221 New York Avenue in Hudson. New York Avenue in Hudson, it's 30 acres. It's $2.7 million industrial. So attention builders, developers, industrial buyers, 30 acres prime land at New York Avenue in Hudson, 9221. It's in an opportunity zone as well. Great opportunity to purchase real estate and buy land. 12631 Hobson Simmons Road, 12631 Hobson Simmons Road. This one is in the southern part of Hillsborough County. This is 10 to 12 acres. Great opportunity to own real estate and buy and build, develop here as well. Some more vacant land. We do have a home on site, but the owner's willing to sell that or keep that, kind of parcel that out. 12631 Hobson Simmons Road in Lithia. You can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com.
Buy dirt, find one you can't live without.
All right, we got Will Hyder in the house. I want to play a quick clip here about some economic news, but we're going to jump back into this mindset conversation with Will Hyder from the Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Realty. So this is a podcast I listen to. This is a hedge fund. This gentleman ran a big hedge fund, and he's talking about predicting for Q1, Q2, and what's happening. It's going to be a disaster according to this gentleman here.
Q1 and Q2 are going to be a disaster. And right now, Goldman Sachs, will use them as the typical economist, is looking at +1 to 2% in Q1 and Q2. The problem here is this: the cake has already been baked. What do I mean by that? The Fed has tightened interest rates considerably, and the Goldman Sachs Financial Conditions Index is up 400 basis points on the year. Every 90 basis points of tightening in the financial conditions is a 1 to 2% hit to GDP 4 quarters forward. So that bill is coming due Q1, Q2. It's baked into the cake. There's nothing we can do to avoid it. We're seeing housing starting to roll over. The real economy is a disaster. And there may be a stock market rally because the Fed tried to play some games on Friday. Some of the progressive elements of the Fed to help the Biden administration leaked out on Friday that they're going to do 75 in November and then maybe 50 in December to signal that maybe this is the end of the rate hike cycle. But that gave the markets a little euphoria. So we may see a rally here.
Yeah, so it's interesting. They're talking about 75 basis points increase in November, another 50 basis points in December. So hopefully that is a trend of tapering, because how high are we going to push these rates up? I understand they have to slow the economy a little bit based on, to slow the inflation, but they're going to kill the real estate market and mortgage industry if they continue to do that. All right, Will Hyder, Platinum MVP Team, Keller Williams Realty. Let's continue our conversation. So we were talking about mindset, consistency, developing the motivation. The motivation side comes back to your why. That's a very popular talking point too, is why are you in the business, right?
Yeah, understand your why, right? A lot of people get in the business, whether it be to make the money or to help people find their dream home or to, get into real estate investing, whatever it is. Understand your why and keep that front and center.
Yeah.
Each and every day, right? When times get tough, when recession talk's coming,
yep.
Right? Double
That's right.
down. Keep your mind in the game. Surround yourself with winners, right? Get mentorships in the business. If you're a single agent and you're listening to this and you're by yourself right now,
yep.
and business is tough, join a team. Join a team that's got leverage, that's got market share, that can help you grow your business and get you through, get you through that mindset struggle that you're dealing with. You got to surround yourself with positive reinforcement each and every day, right? So, we do a lot of masterminds. Myself, I travel to, masterminds monthly, constantly reinforcing, different things, whether it be business, core values, right? Leadership, how to become a better leader, how to become a better business owner, right? How to become the most elite versions of ourselves. It's all about all of that. It's not just about being a good business person. You got to be a good everything, right? I heard a quote the other day. I can't remember who said it, but they said your business is a representation of your personal self, right? So
right.
You gotta work on all of it, not just the business side of things. So,
right.
If you guys are listening, focus on mindset. Mindset is the key to success in business. So once you understand mindset, then you can talk about how to market yourself, how to put yourself out there in this market. So beautiful stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And you think about the market that we're in right now. It's going to be a time where the people that succeed now in these next 6 months, 8 months, who knows how long this is going to last, this downturn, this shifting market, when we come out on the other side of this, we're going to be in much better position because we're going to be grabbing market share that entire time. Even right now, we've got something like 48 or 50 listings with our team. Yeah. That's a lot of listings. Yeah. That's a lot of listings to have. The average realtor has 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4. We've got 50 listings on our team, so that goes back to the leads, listings, and leverage, right? So when you focus on listings, now you got leads coming in from those listings. Maybe they don't buy that listing, they might buy another home with one of your buyer agents on the team. So then leads, listings, and leverage. So then you're leveraging that through all the things we talked about earlier, everything from administrative help to leveraging the listings for new buyers, and then you're leveraging, those as well. So that's kind of the idea behind leads, listings, and leverage.
Yeah, and creating systems creating systems around your business that will prevent burnout. Right? If you're doing every single thing in your business, right, you're just gonna keep spinning your wheels. That's why I recommend to get mentorship. Learn from somebody in the space that's doing better than you that you can learn from, right? That's the key, is get the fast track, right? You don't have to do this alone, right? There's so many resources online, through YouTube, through paid memberships, through mentorships, through joining teams. So there's really no excuse, right? Mm-hmm. You are your biggest competition. There is no other competition. There's no recession. You dominate your own marketplace. You control what happens in your marketplace. So are you gonna recede, or are you going to, grab it? I don't know what I can say on. You know what I'm saying? Grab that thing by the balls and go. Yeah,
by the horns. Right. Yeah, absolutely. So. All right, so Will Hyder's in the house. Mindset is the topic here. Platinum MVP Team, Keller Williams Realty. We talked about a couple of your listings too. So you've got listings in here in Tampa Bay. You're working with investors. You're working with buyers also.
Yep, we work with buyers, sellers, investors. We live along Clearwater Beach, so we have a lot of great opportunities for condos, Airbnbs, right? So if you guys are listening, if you guys are interested in, wanting to invest in the Gulf Coast, please reach out to me. We have a lot of great opportunities here for investing in beautiful Tampa Bay. Best place to live, work, and play. Yeah,
it is. Yeah. Best place to live, work, and play. Absolutely, man. And we're seeing that. And I think you're even going to see more of the folks that are saying, hey, I'm giving up on Southwest Florida. They may have affected by the hurricane, but they're going to say, hey, I'm going to relocate to Tampa Bay, potentially. Some people are going to be moving out of state, unfortunately. But yeah, for everybody, there's a different risk tolerance, and that's what you see, and that's what you find. Will Hyder, always a pleasure, man. What's the best website for you?
You can reach me at MassiveMarketingPros.com. And we'd be glad to help you grow your business in any way possible. Have a great day, guys.
MassiveMarketingPros.com, Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com as well. Coming up, we've got Jennie Restrepo going to be in studio here. Insured Title Agency, longtime friend of the program. Again, supporting the local economy by supporting the companies associated with our show. 80 different categories, 50-plus show partners, CPAs, financial advisors, great attorneys associated. So many ways we can help you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check us out online, ConsumerQB.com. Coming up, feel-good story of the day. Children battling cancer get $500 shopping spree at the mall. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you've been listening to the phenomenal Brandon Rhymes, the Consumer Quarterback Show.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty. And we like to help our sellers profit more and sell faster. You know, sell for maximum profit. That's the key. That's the idea. So 1311 Gray Street. We got a new listing here in Gulfport. This is in Pinellas County on Gray Street. Got a pool home. Beautiful properties, 1311 Gray Street South in Gulfport. This home has been partially updated. It's got nice updates in the bathrooms. It's got a beautiful pool in the back with a separate mother-in-law suite as well. Mother-in-law suite rental opportunity. Beautiful pool with a large deck and backyard. 1311 Gray Street South in Gulfport. Almost 1,400 square feet. 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, private backyard with the mother-in-law suite. All right, commercial property at 6361 US Highway 301 South in Riverview. This property is in Hillsborough County, and it's a commercial opportunity. So attention builders, entrepreneurs, contractors, anybody that wants to develop. I've got calls to go in and build one of those car washes. A lot of people are putting car washes out. You see those all over the place. 6361 US Highway 301 South in Riverview. Business location, corner lot, almost a full acre. It's 0.81 acre. You got billboard on the property, commercially zoned as well. 50,000 vehicles a day, 40 to 50,000 vehicles a day passing by. Corner lot location, 6361 Highway 301 South in Riverview, Florida. You can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, Jennie Restrepo in the house. Welcome back.
Hi, thanks for having me back.
My pleasure. My pleasure. So, Insured Title Agency, and you are in Tampa Bay here, doing lots of closings, talking to a lot of people, so you kind of got your ear to the ground, so to speak, in the real estate space. I love this topic for today, home hardening grant.
Yes. In the wake of Hurricane Ian, the state is having some forward thinking, which I think is exciting. That's maybe a little bit of a new trend.
I love it.
And wants to help Florida homeowners harden their homes.
Yeah.
And basically what that means is, have you had a wind mitigation report done? What kind of things could be done to your home to improve its ability to withstand a storm should we have another one? Because we don't know when it's going to happen, but we basically know it is going to happen. And so how can you become better prepared? This is something that's going through the state of Florida. I just looked it up. If you go to myfloridacfo.com, there is more information about the program. Applications are not open just yet, but this is for homes that were a little bit older. So if you have a new construction home, you would not qualify for this program. And homeowners are going to have to invest some of their own money, but the state is going to match those funds.
Older homes. Got it. Okay.
Correct.
So hardening the homes. Did it have any examples of what that means? What are they going to do to harden the home?
Because it indicated that you would need to get a fresh wind mitigation report, I'm going to assume that it is involving putting extra straps and things on the inside part of the roof so that your roof is better able to withstand hurricane strength winds.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And maybe updating windows, things of that nature. It's hard to raise foundations, right? Because you can't really raise the foundation, so not much to do there. But yeah, I think you're right on point. You know, when you have, and it goes back to the construction codes too. When you build these properties, you know, Miami-Dade, Hurricane Andrew was back in the early 90s. I think it was 92. You know, it's little things from when you're building the roof and the trusses, you know, and you're putting on shingles and you're putting on that underlayment, you know, little things as far as going, you know, moving from 18 inches where you're putting every nail to dropping that down to 16 inches or 12 inches, whatever it might be. I'm just using that for illustrative. I don't know exactly what the codes are, but those are things that can help. And then adding extra straps, that's going to help strap the trusses to the roof system, to the top of the structure.
Yes, Hurricane Andrew in Miami-Dade led to a lot of improvements in the minimum required building codes. And so this is not necessarily a change in the codes for any new construction going forward, but it's giving homeowners who have been in their homes for some time, I believe your house permit had to have been pulled prior to 2008.
Right.
So homes built prior to 2008 and that are open to having a new inspection done would be partly qualifying for the program.
Yeah. And Jonathan has the site here if you're watching our TV show version, and you can always look this up on YouTube later, download our YouTube videos, our podcast. But yeah, it has a breakdown on the site there. The site, again, is myfloridacfo.com.
Yes.
If you're interested in home hardening funds and grants, the state is adding this. So homeowner must provide proof of homestead exemption. Homeowner must provide documentation. So yeah, it's going through the different aspects of it, how many, what the wind mitigation home inspections they're anticipating completing. So it has a lot of information there, and it says that they are eligible homeowners up to $10,000, and then there's other language on there. But yeah, that's awesome. I think that's such a great idea. Let's be proactive here. Let's do what we can do. Some of the basic things you can do, of course, is trimming trees away from your home.
Yes.
Some of those types of things, and cleaning up some of the yard debris, etc.
The biggest mess in my neighborhood after the storm was tree debris and tree branches.
Yeah.
And so if you have trees around your home near your roof line, things like that, going into hurricane season, I know we're nearing its end this year, but surprise, it's going to happen again next year.
Yep.
And so now is definitely the time to take a look at those things. If your tree made it through this storm, is it going to make it through the next one?
Right.
But that was definitely the biggest thing that I noticed in my neighborhood, and we had a miss.
Yeah.
So definitely being proactive and protecting your home, because even though you have homeowners insurance, I can imagine what homeowners down in Naples and Fort Myers are dealing with right now. Yes, you have a policy, but when exactly is that policy going to pay out? And what are you going to do in the meantime while you're waiting for money for repairs?
Yeah, exactly. We're talking with Jennie Restrepo here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. She represents Insured Title Agency. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP Team, Keller Williams Realty. And one of the cool things that's pretty awesome about Keller Williams, I had 4 family members, brothers and dad, affected by the storm, and KW Cares, one of the programs we donate every closing. We give, I think it's $25 or $50 per closing to this nonprofit type setup. They gave $5,000 to each one of them. I mean, isn't that amazing? Having a company that comes in and says, "Hey, they're helping people when they're hurting." I think that's what's so cool about it and so timely. But yeah, what an awesome company to work for and to have that type of program.
Definitely.
Because like you said, some people are waiting on FEMA checks, and they're waiting. They got a small check, from FEMA. KW Cares also properly boarded up and secured. My brother that lives in Port Charlotte's home. So it's awesome stuff. So let's shift gears here. Let's go to wire fraud.
Okay.
Wire fraud is kind of an uptick right now, isn't it?
It is. Unfortunately, just like if you're hurting in your piggy bank, so are the criminals, and so they're back at what they consider really the lowest hanging fruit. So what exactly is wire fraud? Well, it's when someone interferes in the transfer of money. And of course, when you're purchasing a home, typically closing funds are required to be wired to the title company. So at Insured Title Agency, we collect all of the funds either from the buyer for their down payment and closing costs, from the lender when the lender sends their part. Then we cut all the checks and we send money out to sellers and we pay off mortgages and things like that. Well, these criminals are getting very smart, and they get into conversations. They monitor things. They're able to see. They can clone email addresses so it looks so similar that you're busy, you're on your phone, you're looking at something. Oh, great, I have this. You do it. You don't double check it.
Right.
And so the biggest thing that you can do that I think this show advocates all the time is be a careful consumer. So we tell all of our clients, if you are wiring funds to us, we normally text those because texting is more secure than emailing. And then you receive that document. When you go to the bank to wire the funds, call us on the phone from the teller window, verify the number for number with us over the phone before you send that wire.
Call before you wire. That's
Correct.
The key. Call before you wire.
And if anything sounds like it's changing in the middle or at the last minute, oh, we sent you something that was incorrect. Oh, call this number going forward. Anything like that. Or if it seems like your agent is sending you wiring instructions. Like Brandon, no one on the MVP Realty team would even touch that with a 10-foot pole because, number one, that's not their job. They are not on those accounts. And number two, they do not want to be sending you that information and be responsible for it. So if your agent starts to send you wiring instructions or if something sounds off, also look at the grammar because sometimes these criminals are not so good at English. But anything that seems wrong, don't just sweep it under the rug and say, oh, it's probably just me, or oh, I'm probably just busy. Double check, triple check. We will never be upset with any clients that call us more than once to verify wiring instructions because that is the only way that you can protect yourself because they are so good at this that once that money goes out of your account and into that account, they've got it, they're closing that account, and the money is gone.
And it's too late.
And we can try to track it down and we can try all these things or, who is the criminal though? Like you can press charge against them. Who is this person?
Right. Where are
Basically,
they at?
You just want to avoid it.
They're overseas. They're shell corporations. They're they're untrackable. FBI is not going to deal with it because it's too small a crime.
Correct.
It's only $80,000. It's not over $1 million. Whatever it is. And by the way, the number one thing they do for Jennie had alluded to it with the email addresses is they'll put like a double L or a double I or an I where an L should be or vice versa. And that's what happens is you look at it quickly and you just glance and you're like, oh yeah, that looks like the email, and they copy the image offline, so the signature line's going to probably look the same. They're going to download that image, make it spoof.
They've been in the middle of your conversation this entire time, so making an email signature look good, you can get the Keller Williams logo off of the internet. So it's like the difference between .com or .net.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so you're looking at it, the signature looks the same, everything seems the same, but it's not the same.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's take a quick break here. When we come back, Jennie Restrepo, Consumer Quarterback Show. She's with Insured Title Agency. Plus our feel-good story of the day. Every day we love to tell you something positive here. Children battling cancer get $500 shopping spree at the mall. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to My Daddy's Show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Team, Keller Williams Realty. Hot listing here at 3362 Cedar Crest. This is one of our listings that we have. It's a beautiful property with a pool, screened-in pool, spa. 3362 Cedar Crest is a property up in Pasco County. Gorgeous home. 3362 Cedar Crest Loop in Spring Hill. It's a gated community, low HOA fees, very low fees, granite countertops, screened-in pool, 2 large sitting areas in the backyard, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2,500 square foot, 3-car garage with a pool on a large lot. 3362 Cedar Crest Loop in Spring Hill. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, so feel-good story. Children battling cancer get a $500 shopping spree at the mall at Wellington Green. South Florida nonprofit organization teamed up with Macy's in Wellington to give children with cancer a $500 shopping spree on Saturday. The pediatric oncology support team is based in Palm Beach County. Children's Hospital. They brought 10 children ranging from 6 to 18 to the mall at Wellington Green for a shopping spree. The CEO said once a child is diagnosed, disposable income is often gone. Adding to the importance of an event like this, Macy's opened its store 2 hours early for the event. And there's a quote from Danelia Bennett saying, "I don't really get to do stuff like this. I don't really get to get out because of my condition, because I really can't get sick and stuff like that. So I think it's kind of fun," she says, Danelia Bennett. So that's the kid with cancer going to get the $500 shopping spree. I hope they got some good stuff. I hope they got some fun toys.
Every kid's dream is to be able to just go crazy, go ham at the mall.
Yeah, there you go. $500. She's looking at Hot Wheels there on the shelf, or he's looking at that. And it's good for the families. We've done a lot over the years with Children's Cancer Center, and once the kid's stricken, the whole family's stricken. The other kids in the family don't get as much. The gas, running to appointments and stuff. Children's Cancer Center here in Tampa Bay does a great job with that. So support them, and you can. All right, we got Jennie Restrepo, Insured Title Agency, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We talk a little bit about wire fraud. Title fraud is another issue, too. You've seen, I hear Matt Cox all over the different TV stations and stuff. He was a former guest on the show. Kevin had brought him in. And if you don't know his story, Jennie, I'll let you tell it. You tell it better than I did. But millions of dollars in title fraud right here locally in Ybor. Ybor City, a lot of them.
He ultimately went on a 4-state crime spree, but that was a title fraud scam where he was basically just stealing title of properties, getting multiple mortgages on the same address, closing on the same day, and then never having the intention of ever paying any of the money back. It was quite elaborate. And back in his day, so this was in the early 2000s, you had to have a person, like a human, to go in and to sign and to present him or herself for the money. So he had to have some accomplices along with him. But now everything being online and being digitized, it's even easier. And Matt Cox has even said it's even easier than it was before. Yeah. And so, some of the things that we talk about with title is when you're purchasing a home, make sure you go through a reputable title company. Make sure you're using a reputable agent, a licensed agent, because while a lot of people think, oh, I could just do it myself, it's not that big of a deal. It's like you buy groceries all of the time. How often do you buy a house? Let somebody who is experienced in that, I don't have my gymnastics teacher do my taxes, and I don't have someone who does taxes teach gymnastics. So you want an expert in that field to help lead you along the way, because it is a huge purchase. It is a huge investment. And you, the buyer, if you're purchasing a home, you're the one that's on the hook if any mistakes are made. So I had a mother-in-law of a friend call and ask some questions. They want to buy some vacant land in Hernando County. And the questions were, okay, well, they're telling us, we want to buy 10 acres. We want to be able to subdivide it. And so one thing I want to say about vacant land is, perhaps it seems like it's easier, right? Because there's not a house, you're not necessarily doing a home inspection. But the biggest thing about purchasing vacant land is it is the buyer's sole responsibility to confirm that the buyer can do what he or she wants to do with the property.
Yeah, for the use.
Correct. Mm-hmm. And it's called a feasibility study, but really that's just an overarching broad term that means figure it out, because it's on you if you don't figure it out. Right. Okay? That's exactly what it means. But in the feasibility study, you need to confirm that if you're going to put a home on this property, can you put a home on this property? How are you getting electricity to this home? How are you getting water to this home? If it's not already existing on the property, if it's never been improved, meaning it's just the ground. Yep. Because if you look at the legal description of your home, so say right now you live in a home, go to your deed, look at your legal description. It's not for your house, it's for your land. You own the land and you own the ability to put something on the land, but in fact, your deed doesn't include a description of your house. Mm-hmm. So their questions were, they were looking at this acreage, and I said, well, you're saying that you want 10 acres, and the 10 acres have already been split off from an original 20, but I'm looking at the property appraiser website, and I see a description of 20 acres. So is it 20 acres or is it 10 acres? And then we look at the map that shows you the actual lot lines. And it appears that it's 10 acres. However, the description, and I said, well, this is what you're being taxed on, says 20 acres. I said, so number one, I don't think this was recorded correctly. And so you might need to look into that and ask some questions about that. Number two, there should have been a survey from when the current owners purchased the property 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because when you're saying I'm selling 10 of 20, which 10? Right. The 10, it matters because you can carve it out however you want to. It doesn't have to be a perfect square.
Right.
So I said, I think you need to request a survey and see what is going on there. And then I can see from the picture, like a Google Earth picture, there's a lot of trees. So I don't know how Hernando County feels about their trees, but the city of Tampa is very specific about their trees. So can you just cut down whatever trees you want to put the house exactly where you want it to be? Or are there guidelines? Are some of the trees protected trees? I said, because in that situation, you need to get an arborist out there.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to do a tree. I forgot the term on that, but they basically outline where the trees are.
Right.
And they'll also put a number next to it. It'll say like 52. If that's a big wide oak tree, it'll be 52 inches around. So they'll plat that. So yeah, just some of the things I was taking notes here. When you look at feasibility, hey, are there any wetlands? And if so, what's the delineation? Where does that start? Soil testing. What about the percolation? Is there anything buried underneath that? A lot of the orange groves, the farmers would dig a hole, push all the trees in there, burn it, and then cover it up with dirt. That's going to cause problems with your foundation. Percolation. How fast is the rainwater going through the soil, going into the aquifer, if any? Survey, boundary. What are the boundaries? By the way, what are the setbacks? How far from the line, front, rear, side? How far can I build my structure if I'm putting in a shed or I'm adding on a screen room? Correct. Shout out to Tampa Screens and Aluminum, Fred Muth. He often talks about that when he's building on a screen room or a lanai or a pool cage. Then you have the trees we talked about.
Yes.
And then utilities. What type of utilities? When, where, how far are they? If they're way down the road, if they're half a mile or more down the road, you're talking about a lot of money to bring water and sewer and electric down the road. So those are considerations when it comes to vacant land.
Absolutely. We had another client, and they were looking at a lot in the city of Tampa, so within the city limits of the city of Tampa, within the historic district of Tampa Heights.
Yep.
And the lot was the backyard of the current property owner. So he had a very, very long rectangular lot. His home sat on the front, faced out to Central Avenue. The lot behind it, you could access from going around the corner down this little cul-de-sac. But during that feasibility study, they discovered that the access from the road onto the lot was not the entire width of the road. So in fact, the access onto the property was not wide enough for example, like emergency services, like a fire truck.
That's it.
So they were going to have to widen that or like have a huge circular sort of drive. And then even though it was a very short cul-de-sac, there was no city water running from the main, which was under the street, down the cul-de-sac. And even though there were existing houses, they had a direct line off of the main, but that's not code anymore. So while those properties were grandfathered in, this property was going to have to run a whole new water main down the middle of the street just to service their property.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big, expensive, costly deal killer.
So they did not buy that lot.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, on that point, ingress and egress. Can I get in and out?
Correct.
And if so, especially for developers, do I have to add a turn lane? These are all considerations when it comes to vacant land. And as you said too, emergency fire, they have to be able to access it. Jennie Restrepo online at the website. We're almost out of time here.
Insured-title.com, or find me on all of the socials at Insured Title Agency.
All right, insured-title.com.
Yes.
Jennie Restrepo, always a pleasure. Good stuff today.
Thanks, Brandon.
I like that home hardening grant. You got to check out that website, myfloridacfo.com.
Yes.
Home hardening grant. Let your friends know about that. That's a good nugget of advice. So thank you to everybody producing the show, all the friends of the family here helping out, calling into the hotline and supporting the show. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhymes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.